So you do, Steve Burns great to you, and you do, 5 years on that show, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, we do.
And then, is that
4.
how The Daily Show sees you at that point?
No, so Sullivan's Son gets canceled. I'm adrift for a year. At this point, I'm aging out of colleges, so I really don't have the college bread. So I'm doing a gang of shit on ESPN.
Wait. When was the pilot with Whoopi?
That was around that same time.
Okay,
that was matter of fact. That was 3 months before I got Daily Show.
Wow.
I'll tell you the story about that, because if that pilot goes, I don't go. I'm not
on Daily Show. That's what I was going to ask. But wait, go to ESPN, then go to there.
So my degree is in broadcast journalism.
Yep.
I got a bunch of partners that I graduated with who work in ESPN in various production capacities.
Again, relationships.
So just always been nice to people.
There you go.
That's all I've ever tried to be. And Sullivan and Son gets canceled. I'm back on the road, and I'm doing ESPN for free. One of my partners called me, hey, man, I don't know if you know who Jamel Hill is, but her and Mike Smith got this 2 p.m. This is when they were still doing His and Hers.
Yes.
They weren't even on Sports Center yet.
Right.
Jamel Hill and them will let me parlay. I did a good job on that. I get to fuck with Bomani Jones. I do a good job with that. They put me on Sports Nation. So I'm the dude bouncing around. Sports Nation like me, MLB Network like you too. You want to come talk some baseball too? Oh, NFL Network. Not getting paid for none of this shit, bro.
None of it.
You're not getting paid for nothing. They're a news outlet, so they don't fucking pay. But what it essentially was, like Tracy Morgan had the perfect analogy. We call Saturday Night Live the Dagobah system, where he learned how to become a comedy Jedi that he was after he left SNL.
I see.
For me, that year of just doing commentary on various sports shows prepared me for The Daily Show, because sports, to me, it's harder than politics. It's 1,000% harder than politics, because you can't piss off the sponsors. You can't piss off the team, the players, the fans. Like, there's just more potholes.
There's backlash.
To having a joke that doesn't get you banned. Politics, you can just talk your shit, and if people hate it, they hate it. Nobody's going to muzzle you. But ESPN will pull you off the air in a fucking commercial break.
Yeah.
So I'm doing all of that, and Daily Show comes up at the same time that Neil Brennan was the one who gave me the vouch to Trevor to get me the audition. Around the same time, they're looking for people. They don't know when they're going to do the audition. Jermaine Fowler, off the strength of the fucking Steve Byrne, motherfucking Sullivan and Son.
Right.
Hey, man, I'm doing this thing with Whoopi. If you wanna play my dad, which I was kind of offended by.
You're not that much older.
I'm only 7 years older than Jermaine Fowler, but my hairline is 25 years older. Than
You definitely. I thought you were my age, and I was wrong by a million.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Sorry.
Lenny's 56.
Yeah.
And I'm 230 now. At that time, I was 270. So Jermaine Fowler's so skinny, and I just looked like big black sitcom dad.
Yes.
So I was like, fuck it. I'm going into black sitcom dad sunset.
You got me.
This is what I'll do.
Yep.
And the sitcom didn't go. The story as it was told to me, and no one has confirmed this, and I'm too scared to ask Whoopi. At the same time, they were considering our pilot, which I was told was a shoo-in. It's Jermaine Fowler plays, Whoopi Goldberg was his grandmother, and he moves back in with her to get his shit together.
I kind of remember this now.
Gen X and an old head living together, and what is texting? In my day, we had a phone book, you know. And the stories that was told to me was that The View was still trying to replace a couple of co-hosts that summer, and Whoopi's contract was up, and Whoopi wouldn't re-sign with The View until she knew who the co-host was going to be. And then ABC said, yeah, but we need to know what's up with this sitcom. And Whoopi was like, well, I can't do the sitcom until you tell me what the fuck The View is going to be every day. And they were still in the midst of all of the negotiations. And so that is, as it was told to me, that's how I can't sign on for this sitcom without knowing, because the sitcom is side money for Whoopi. The View, that's her real fucking bread. She don't fuck up her real bread.
Right.
So the sitcom didn't go. A month later, I auditioned for The Daily Show. I booked that bitch. I'm in New York 3 weeks later.
That's unbelievable.
That's how it goes. Isn't that something?
It is. I think the Whoopi story is true, by the way.
Right off rejection. Right off rejection, not rejection, but right off some shit and go right into the shit. Like, that's exactly how it works. Like, because even before SNL, I was starting to get parts on TVs in different shows. People would put me on like a Sullivan Son. I had a spot there. I had,
I would do a spot on Sullivan.
You remember I wrestled? I wrestled.
Ahmed.
Ahmed. And I mean, I would I was getting a lot of spots and a lot of people was checking for me, but it was like not getting SNL made me get SNL.
Yeah. Like, so I auditioned for Daily Show in 2007 and didn't get that shit.
Interesting.
It was terrible. I shouldn't.
Well, it's a tough, I don't know what the audition's like, but I mean, I can't think of anybody whose resume would speak Daily Show more than yours. I mean, journalism background, obviously what you just told me about, doing that, but you have like, your dad's background, you've been a radio host. It sort of lends itself to...
My pops did radio, but my pops wasn't cracking no jokes though. That motherfucker was all hardcore commentary. I'm telling you about these
but
folks.
that's where you got. But that's where you got that from.
You pick it up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little bit of it. Yeah.
So
my daddy didn't pay
blood.
taxes though. My daddy was like, he really didn't fuck with the government. He like, I ain't sending y'all shit. The black man right to vote expires in 2020. Like he knew all the statutes and shit.
And Ian told me to tell you, he was like, man, that sketch that we did. Oh my God, it was so fucking fun.
The faces.
My aunt, she said, when you said O.J. Simpson, she's like, I thought I was going to pass the fuck
Herschel
out.
Walker looked like O.J. Simpson.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's combined all of your skills into the perfect skill, don't you?
Yeah. And it's weird because I grew up not wanting to be like my father. Because he's like a radio legend.
We all do.
In Birmingham. Yeah. His comments, like, my dad was embedded. Like, he volunteered to go to Vietnam to be embedded with black platoons.
Yep.
Getting shot at by snipers in South Africa. Like, just every civil rights event you can name from the 60s until he died in 95, my father was present physically with a tape recorder.
How does that shape your worldview? Do you have a huge distrust of everybody?
And do you have the
especially
tapes?
White people?
Do you have the tapes too?
I had a lot of those tapes. My brother got them, I'm actually going to Birmingham in a couple of weeks, and we're going to start trying to digitize some of this shit.
Yeah,
a lot of what he's talking about is still prevalent.
You should do a documentary, dude. That shit could be really that's like facts right there. You know what I mean? That could be something really.
The thing that being around my dad, because like when I got my learner's permit, I used to drive him to all his speaking engagements on the weekends. So I'd be posted up with him at some black college or black church, and my dad just did not trust government. Like Democrat and Republican.
But what black dad did.
Yeah,
dude. What my dad was fuck the man. Like my dad would not work. Oh my God! After he left KJLH, he was like, "Fuck the man. I'm not gonna work for the man. I'm not fucking paying him." Like they all were like that. Especially was he in the military? Because my dad was in the military, and he really was just like hardcore. Like none of my fucking kids will be in the motherfucking military.
My dad got that from being embedded in Vietnam. That's where he got that.
My dad went to Vietnam and to Korea. He went back twice, and my uncle went back 3 times. So they was just more like, yeah, fuck this motherfucker. Like you fight for this country, these motherfuckers on. Like it was embedded that shit. So like I feel like that documentary would fucking go like far.
You're in the right time for it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but we would wake up. Like my dad is the person, we would get up on Sunday mornings and he would watch CBS Sunday mornings, Charles Kuralt and all of that shit. I could watch football, and then we would watch 60 Minutes. It's the only thing we did as a family.
60 Minutes. Yeah.
60 Minutes.
We watched CBS Sunday mornings.
We always
we watched.
What the fuck is up? Because I swear we did the same thing. I used to hate that ticket clock. I used to be like
that.
And my dad would just yell at the TV, whatever interview.
Yeah.
That's not true, motherfucker. The real reason policy is in place.
And you know what, Roy? When I went to SNL, how they used to worship Ronald Reagan, and the first time they said it, I was like, "You talking about Reaganomics?
Yeah, crack.
Reagan don't like black people." And my dad used to say that shit out there. What the fuck is Reagan? Oh my God!
My pops took me. One of my first memories was '84 Jesse Jackson Democratic primary in Birmingham at the Boutwell Auditorium. My pops went backstage to interview Jesse Jackson.
Oh wow!
And this band is going. Now my dad erroneously was confident that Jesse Jackson was going to win. Jesse got fucking washed. Fucking Michael Dukakis came in and said, "Get the fuck out of here, Jesse."
Man, I remember Dukakis too. It was like, Dukakis? We don't want no fucking man named Dukakis.
Beat by a boring man.
My daddy just kept saying, "You don't put Duke in the White House, you put Duke in your hair. I'm Roy Wood." My dad was one of them jive, flip the word ass motherfuckers.